Attempted to give patient Tylenol. Patient stated, Tylenol these nuts. Patient educated on the importance of taking Tylenol to decrease the fever. Patient stated, the only thing that's hot is your breath. Patient then threw the Tylenol tablets at RN.
On this episode of Highly Trained Veterinarians.
Just look on the bright side. It's not pepper spray. Pepper spray's an all-day event. It's like Satan crawls out of hell and pees on your face. It's the worst feeling you've ever had. I'm telling you, I can't imagine that poor cat. But it was the awfulest damn thing I've ever seen.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Thick is back to offend.
We got our boy Thick back this week.
Thick.
I'm a little under the weather this week, Thick. So I think you and our special guest here are going to have to.
Yeah, I think you have tuberculosis. I'm not 100% sure, but
I think it's like a COVID AIDS hybrid.
Definitely AIDS.
I don't know if that's going to make it in the show or not.
Jinx.
Hey, shut up, man. We've not introduced you yet.
I'm sorry.
Shut your mouth.
Well, special guest, not extra special as in like John's special math class.
I don't know.
Special as in.
No, I had good grades.
You did?
He had
I had good grades.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Well, this week we've got Thick back.
Yeah.
But we also don't have John or John.
Right, yeah.
One is John seen something shiny in the woods and just kind of wandered off, and
he's still after it.
We're still waiting for him to emerge.
Yeah.
And our other John is on a camping trip.
He may show up.
He may show up. I mean, he may show up late. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. He's a sweet boy, so we'll find out. But do you want to introduce our new our special guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, on mic 3, Fudd.
The
Fudd. And for those who know, they know we're in for a treat.
Well, I'm going to do my best here.
You don't even have to try.
He really is a special boy. You know,
without doubt.
I mean, you look at him, you can tell it's not Down syndrome,
right?
But it's something.
It's not. My mom loved me.
It's love.
my mom loved me.
It's love.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know my real name, I mean, it's pretty obvious who I am, but it is, there's a bunch of us. There's so many of them. My mom just ran out of names, and my name kind of just stuck.
I know most of your family through the lumber store.
Yeah.
Hell, you had family that worked at the lumber store.
Yeah, well, they did. And
one of my favorite people on earth was your Uncle Blue, and Ray,
Yeah, Blue's passed on. That actually, my middle name is that's what I'm named after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my Uncle Blue.
Wow.
Man, I could tell some funny stories.
The first one, I have no idea. I don't know. My mom just like rolled the dice or put in a name generator. I don't know. I have no idea where it came from.
There's nobody on this earth funnier than his Uncle Blue.
Yeah.
And he's very dry humor, very sarcastic.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of Fudd. I think that kind of got passed down.
Blue was almost like a character from like a cartoon, though, like with his dryness and. Well, how would you describe him?
Well, it's been a little while since I've seen him.
Oh, so
he's passed on several years back. I was probably in my early teens, but he was always real funny. Always kept everybody on their toes, especially family functions and stuff like that.
I know this is kind of a off topic. I mean, one time he told me a story about this old man that brought his grandkid down to our lumber company.
Yeah.
Blue was going to take him out to the yard and show him something. Right. Well, we had a cheap 2x4 section, we kept our cheap 2x4s. When those 2x4s got sold down, a hole underneath that was exposed, a big hole, and I think it was like an old drainage ditch. I don't know what it was.
Right.
Blue said to the guys, the old man was walking behind him. He's leading them out to the yard to show them whatever it is they wanted to look at. And he said, all I heard was the old man heart his grandson and say, Johnny, catch up, get up here with me before you get hurt. And he said, I turned around and that old man's gone. Went right down that hole.
That's
And I sat and laughed at that.
To this day, people in LA say they can hear the echoes.
Yeah.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
Well, no, listen. Listen. That's the one I can tell.
When you said cheap 2x4s, some of my family, I thought they marked them up.
No.
I thought we were getting rich off somebody.
Listen, there's a lot of tales from Lumberyard, and you can imagine some of the jokes that were. But that's the one I can tell.
Yeah. Fudd, you're a backwoods born and raised, right?
Actually, not born and raised. I
Right.
was raised on the Liberty Street.
Oh, really?
I was raised on the L. I came from I hail from Jackson County. I was born in Hazard, moved to Jackson County when I was a wee lad. Then we moved to the ghetto. But I've been here for years and years and years. Yeah. So I guess I'm adapted.
You're kind of like
or adopted.
You're kind of like a pillar of the community, like Larry Love.
those are mighty big shoes to fill. He's got a much better singing voice.
Yeah.
I hear he's doing well now with his family. Hope he is wherever he's at.
We've been pretty concerned about him.
I've heard tell that he's been calling local law enforcement trying to get a ride back to town.
That's right on the street. Yeah, really? Trying to get a ride back home. Yeah,
like the new newspaper salesman will not know what happened. There will be a riot at Pizza Hut.
It's not the same.
No, it's not.
They don't dance. They don't sing. I mean, I like a show.
They'll ask you for $1 for a cold pop.
Right.
Yeah,
Mountain Dew.
Like walking the streets with hookers.
Yeah. I mean, it's the good old days.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're hardworking women.
Yeah, well, they're nice ladies.
The hardest working women in the business.
Thick's got a good story that I know he can't tell.
Well,
that doesn't involve, let me rephrase that. That doesn't involve him,
I have a story about a hooker and the big lipped person I talked about on a couple episodes back.
Oh, Lord.
And I will tell that at some point.
Well, I'm a big lip person.
I want to hear it.
Involve me.
No, it's not.
So it's not. I do have big lips, but it's
is it the one you told me about someone getting gypped?
Yes.
I would almost, dude. If I would go into my pocket right now and pull out $100 bill.
Let's do before we pull out money.
I don't have any money.
Yeah, let's give a little credit to Dwayne Jewell.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, Steve and Ron in Somerset, Charles S., Jonathan M., our brothers in Brown, Christian S. We've got some people that have reached out or in passing have said they've been listening to the show and
good listeners. We just want to give shout outs too.
Yeah, we appreciate that because if not for that, we wouldn't be recording this today.
Can I give a shout out?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm new to this, but I've got some buddies that Matt and E. They just want to hear me mess up, make a fool of myself. So shout out to those guys for putting all the pressure on me, right?
Yeah. Permanently engraved on the internet.
There it is.
You know what since we've been doing this, the first episode or two, I was like, don't say anything stupid. Yeah. Don't say anything stupid. Yeah. Just get that out of your head. You're going to say something
stupid. That's actually why people listen.
Yeah. Say something stupid, deal with it, move on to the next stupid thing. Cause you're going to say something stupid.
Yeah.
So there's no point even getting nervous about it. Cause I'll go back and listen. Why'd I say that?
Why'd I say that?
Yeah. Like the pine tree situation.
Yeah.
Like, why did I just call it a pine tree?
Instead of a Norwegian.
Yeah, when the guy brought that tree here, he had a name for it. And it's a damn pine tree. Just say pine tree and move on with the damn story. But anyway, that's an example of saying something stupid.
Back to that $100.
So honestly, dude, that's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life.
All right. I'm going to tell it.
Well, I don't have $100.
That's fine. That's okay. I'll remember.
Went this long without it.
Maybe some Luigi's Pizza from Whitesburg.
Maybe we can work something out.
Yeah. So, well, I don't need a Commonwealth Attorney's help right now. So let's stay focused here. So basically, this lady of the night. She was called various names. Like, I'm not going to give her a real name because she may not even do this anymore. I've not seen her in a long time, which is great.
Seen her just the other day.
Oh man, that's awful. Like walking or
I was thinking
walking. Yeah,
walking or servicing.
Walking.
Be very specific on this.
Not to interrupt your story, but I did see her there. I had to put it out there.
Well, that's sad. But some people called her frowny face. I've heard bobblehead.
Oh, I'm locked in now. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Always heard Blondie.
It doesn't take much. Yeah, and there's a really good story that involves Jeremy that I can tell later on if we ever get.
Yeah, we're going to save that for the Jeremy episode because he's going to come in.
But so she comes into the lobby of the local police department, and she's highly upset.
Shoes or no shoes?
Oh, shoes.
Okay.
Definitely.
I seen her with no shoes the other day.
Oh, yeah. So she's mad, which is, kind of typical, I guess. Somebody had ripped her off. That's about as specific as I can get on that. Somebody had ripped her off.
Someone had purchased her services and not paid her.
Something like that. And I promise you, she said every bit of this. She looked at the officer at the window and said, "Well, I guess I'm going to have to go out here and suck a dick." And then took off out the door.
She had to make up for those funds that she had stole from her.
Now, I would have gave her a $5. Like if I had the cash on me, I'd have been like, "Look, you know what? Take that night off."
I'm playing this in my head.
I'm trying not to.
Because you know how she was, right?
Yeah, I'm playing this in my head right now. Yeah. It's like I can hear her like, I really sucked him off and he didn't give me my money. I cannot believe this.
So, what are you guys going to do about it?
I've already bought him. Yeah. I can't unsuck that.
Yeah.
The first time you told the story, she was like, Brock ready to file a lawsuit over this.
Oh, yeah, she was mad. She wanted us to file charges for theft of services, I guess. I'm not sure what. Yeah. But those were her words, her exact words. Some of these things you just can't sugarcoat, like that's what she said. And then she stormed out the door and I assume that night, that's what happened. Because she didn't come back.
She probably had to work overtime because y'all couldn't get her money back.
It's sad, man.
They might have put it on layaway.
Good have.
They put a blowy on layaway.
It is sad. I mean,
it's on credit.
It's also hilarious.
Yes. I mean,
there's that angel and that demon on my shoulder doing battle all the time.
Yeah.
Are we holding hands now?
Yeah, I guess.
There's been several times where she's gone to rehab by court order. And then kind of got a little clean, like you could tell.
She was very popular there.
Very popular.
She's had 10 kids that have been taken from her?
7+, I think.
Yeah.
And she's not from Kentucky originally. But
it is a sad situation. I mean,
I've heard some of her backstory, why she is the way she is. Yeah. No, it's
human trafficking.
Yeah. It is tragic.
It's human trafficking.
It's a sad story. I mean, we do make a lot of it at the same time, but it's a sad story.
Yeah.
But we're here to laugh, so
enough of that. Enough of that. Sorry.
But yeah, so she said she was going to go do that, and I assume that's what she did. I didn't verify, so you'll have to take that on as hearsay.
And she does not accept Venmo or Cash App.
No.
Hey, you know this.
I heard.
Checked her website.
He said, I heard.
There's something about those ZTE phones that don't carry it,
Yeah.
Who's getting tased?
You're here for a very special episode.
I'm not getting tased. If that's what you all brought me in here for, I'm leaving now.
We have an announcement
or pepper sprayed. Yeah. I'm not going.
Yeah.
We kind of have an announcement to make.
Yeah.
This is what we brought you in here for, Fudd. We potentially have a special episode coming up.
It better not be me getting tased.
It's not.
Well,
this is a hell of a way to break it to me. Terrible idea.
Thick. What do you have? No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't have a taser. We're talking about doing an episode where Thick will tase me, John, and John. Hell, if you want to be part of it, big buddy.
I was tased with Thick.
Yes.
We were. I've never been so close to a man.
John has a tasing story that he's not here to tell, but
I've got a misconstrued tasing story about me that's been going around for years.
Let's hear it.
It involves a feline.
What do you mean?
I did not, in no shape or form.
What'd you do with a cat?
I did not tase a feline.
He's giving us the Bill Clinton right now.
Contrary to popular belief, I did not tase a feline, a cat.
Okay.
I pepper sprayed the hell out of one, but I did not tase it.
And I can vouch that he did not tase a cat.
There's too much paperwork in that. You fire that trigger and it's 5 pages.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but what are the rules for that? How are we doing this?
Well, there's no.
I mean, no rules.
I assume in an unsanctioned tasing there are no rules, but
it's a good party trick.
Yeah.
It's a great party trick.
It's a very, very good. I did this one time for a charity event.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Ben Fugit and Sam Collins
I remember
got tased on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Ben Fugit, the preacher?
Yeah, it was live on.
Well, let me ask you this. What's it going to take to make this episode happen? Because we're not just going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting tased for nothing.
And I would assume the same applies
chance.
for John and John.
Yeah, when I told John was like, He's like, if you all do it, I guess I'll do it. He wasn't very excited about it.
I'm not excited about it.
Now,
For
John said, man, I don't know. I've been tased before, so he knows.
You've been younger, but I fought you over that. I fought both of you all over that.
He's got a funny story as how he was tased.
John's been tased twice.
Yes.
Once on purpose, as a joke or whatever.
Yeah, and then once
as
another
as
a consequence.
As a consequence, yes.
I used to when I would carry a taser and I would work, a third shift, I would get those calls and I would be with a certain big-lipped former police officer, and he would always want to do a walkthrough of the local establishments. Mm-hmm. And there'd always be some drunk person say, Fudd, tase me. And Fudd would tase them, and it's the greatest thing ever was. Yeah, tasing drunk people that act like they're.
Oh, I'd love it. I just don't want.
It's funny.
It makes them sober for a little bit. They sober up.
I mean, like if I ever become a police officer, that would be my whole reason for doing so.
It's just to tase people.
Just so I could tase people.
Yeah, no, that's not cool anymore.
Yeah, I know. I can't. That's why I'm not a police
federal
officer.
Court. So
yeah, it's why I'm not one. But anyway,
that's why I'm not one either.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to set this.
That's a cat incident,
right? We're going to have to set this bar kind of high. But this is probably a good opportunity to kind of. For one thing, if we do this, we're going to audio record it. So it's going to go to YouTube. And I think in preparation for that, we probably need to get some subscribers to YouTube. So we'll sit down and kind of go over what that amount ideally would be. And if we can achieve that amount, maybe we'll do like a small tier and a large tier, like at one amount you get this person, but at this amount you get these people that get tased on video.
I'm not getting tased for any amount of money. I don't care how much these schmucks dish out. I'm not doing it.
I listen here.
I don't care how much bobblehead pays you. I'm not going to do it.
Listen, here, the thing is, I'm kind of the mindset, if John and John aren't getting this ass spanking, I don't want it either.
Right.
So we're going to have to figure out how.
I think you're going to have to do it, though, if we reach those goals.
If we reach our goals.
I'm pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
If we reach whatever goals you've got in mind, I don't know what you've got in mind.
We're not going to set it. It's not going to be anything astronomical. I mean, we're realists here. This is a small time podcast with, a bunch of crazy people talking about crazy stuff. But, if we could get a certain amount.
I don't know, Thick. Let's shoot for the stars.
Yeah. Well, I think anything above 5 at this point would be the stars.
Are you shooting for the stars because A, you don't want to, or B, you think it can happen?
Listen, I'm not excited about this.
Which is why I will set the bar. Okay. I will set the bar for us to reach. And
just look on the bright side. It's not pepper spray.
It's not pepper spray.
Pepper spray's an all-day event. It's like Satan crawls out of hell and pees on your face. It's the worst feeling you've ever had.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I can't imagine that poor cat. But it was the awfulest damn thing I've ever seen.
So yeah, we're planning to possibly do this. I'm gonna have to do some preparation, some advanced preparation, make sure that if we do this, that it's done
legally.
Yeah, legally and safely, because I don't want anybody getting hurt,
In other words, he has to draw up a waiver.
Yeah, so basically a hold harmless agreement that you guys will sign off on, and
I'm not signing it.
It'll be hilarious.
You're just going to jump in and do it, ain't you?
No, I'm not getting it at all.
Fudd up here with his shirt off for the show.
Should we play it? Because I have the video
of me.
No, of me and you.
Oh,
should I play the audio on that?
100%.
So all right,
100% play the audio.
Yeah. So for the listeners, here's the audio of.
I've not heard this in years.
Fudd and Thick holding hands and riding the lightning.
Whenever I start this, just go ahead and let them down. Begin in 1, 2, 3.
Oh, shit.
How you feel? How'd that feel?
I didn't piss myself.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so what it's to me that was supposed to have been 5 seconds, but it felt like every bit.
That's the longest 5 seconds of my life.
Yeah.
God, I'm scared.
And it didn't hurt. It was
it didn't. It was terrible. It was terrible.
We had no control over anything.
I had Thick's big manly arms wrapped around my. I was 60 pounds lighter.
Some people appreciate that, Fudd.
Well, I did not.
I know. I certainly do.
I did not appreciate it. I've never been so close to a man in my life.
It's brought us closer together, I think.
I think when two men get electrocuted together,
it's like
hand in
it's like
hand.
going to
Bonded
war.
by the juice.
Yeah,
Being in
Not
combat.
OJ.
The juice is loose.
Not OJ.
Not OJ.
Not OJ.
No.
Too soon. Rip
Too soon.
OJ.
Yeah, poor fella.
Rip OJ. Not to pieces, but rest in peace.
Driving through heaven in his white Bronco.
It's like being in the Bronco side by side.
You know what I heard the other day? I heard that wasn't his Bronco that was on the chase.
Really?
Yep, it was his neighbors that bought one just like him.
Huh.
What did he do? Steal their Bronco?
No, he borrowed it apparently
Oh,
for a long chase, and now
took
it's
the
somewhere
most
in some
famous
museum.
drive ever.
Yeah. He took it for a stroll.
Well, honestly, like if I was,
It was
his
a very
neighbor,
popular model.
Yeah,
I would have been
yeah.
like, "Thank you." Now this is worth like what?
Yeah, I mean, you've just upped the value of that vehicle, kind of like what COVID did
$200,000
to the Corsicas and
Yeah.
the Pontiac Grand Ams. All of a sudden, it goes from being worth $2,000 to $200,000.
Yeah, I'd be charging people. So you want to sit in the
You want
Bronco
you want to take a picture with it?
that OJ drove that day, that fateful day?
You want to wear the glove?
Yeah, you want to check his glove out.
Look at the bloodstains in the back seat.
Does the glove fit?
Is it
Must have
Nicole?
quit. Yeah.
Look at that bloodstain. Is it Nicole? Is it Ron? We don't know.
They use his interviews and stuff as part of the interviews and interrogations course at the academy, police academy.
I took that as an in
OJ's.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
only thing I was worried about in that was getting Giovanni's. That's the only thing I was worried about.
Oh man,
Did you all both
awesome.
listen to these?
I have, yeah. Did you see him in that class?
I can't remember. That's
That's
15 years ago.
Yeah, it stuck out to me because there's a kinesiology aspect to this where
That
when
might be my
people
first
tell
in-service.
That's
Yeah.
a big word.
well,
Dick.
it's basically it's
Dumb it down.
interpersonal communication, like the way people
Body language.
Yeah, body language.
Yeah.
There's things that you can't really control when you start to have to tell a lie and
Or defend yourself. And so
Yeah.
different body language. The way
yeah,
they're sitting, the
The
cross their
T-zone,
arms,
yeah.
leaning in.
protecting the groin. Like if I were to ask you a question right now, how old are you? Your answer is
27.
yeah. See, and it immediately went over the
My
crotch.
hand slowly
Yeah.
went across my penis.
But that's his interviews are like textbook in that sense because it shows every single red flag.
Right.
There is.
Well, we know why he got off. I mean, it was
He would repeat the question and give
Right.
himself time to think of a lie and stuff like that.
Right.
during
Yeah,
the
it was-
time,
Right.
we just had the LA riots,
Mhm.
and the temperature was still pretty hot.
Yeah.
Because the LA riots, the Rodney King caused that.
Yeah.
Rodney
That was
King.
the Rodney
Yeah.
King
Mhm.
situation.
There was division, between not just racial division, but specifically with police.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody trusted
Tupac
the
and
police.
Biggie.
Nothing like
Hold on.
now,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tupac and Biggie.
Was that around the same time as Tupac and Biggie?
I don't think so. I think that was mid 90s and the King
Yeah.
stuff was early 90s.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like 89,
I can't
89, 90, I
remember,
believe.
To be honest.
Well,
Yeah.
OJ was what, like 93,
Something like that.
94?
But that's never left though. That tension has never
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
And it never will, because for one thing, it's a moneymaker.
Mhm.
Let's be honest about it.
And
It makes
political.
money.
Political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take some white career politician that can say, you know what, I think it's wrong. The justice system's broke, and the police are bad, and they're racist. They're inherently racist, and the justice system's inherently racist. Re-elect me,
Oh, yeah. These politicians
Like,
will throw a
they
police
know.
officer under the bus.
They'll throw anybody under the bus.
Or
They don't care.
anybody
They
at
don't care.
the drop of the
It
hat.
just depends on what's popular.
Yeah, the drop of a hat for
And that's not to say that there aren't racist police, because there are.
yeah. Well, there's
there are.
racists everywhere.
There's racist everybody in every profession. But and then you start looking at some of the the big money making movements, and then the turmoil that's kind of created from that, and all of a sudden now it's gone from, well, it was for the cause, and then it turns to them having inward fighting because of misuse of funds that
Right.
were from a charity, and it's just, I don't understand it. I agree that something needs to be done. 100% needs to be changed,
I would
because it doesn't
say-
work for anybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for anybody.
I would say this: most of this country's racial turmoil is caused by politicians and the news media.
Yes, I'd agree.
I
with
would
that.
say almost 100% of it.
I would agree with that.
Now, like you said, there are instances where you do have a racist cop.
Yes.
Or you have a racist whatever.
Yeah.
That's just, honestly, it's kind of just life. There's assholes.
Well, and then too, you got to look at the, you have these microclimates of cultures, right? Mm-hmm. And where in this area that we live, there are parts of the county where people simply aren't exposed to other cultures. And because of that, there's a lack of understanding. And what's the first thing they say out of their mouth is, they end up sticking their foot right in it because they say something stupid, something that's insensitive that they shouldn't say. They don't think about that stuff because they've not been around other people.
Yeah.
Now that's not an excuse. I mean, I'm not trying to say that's an excuse for being insensitive. I'm saying that not being educated is a problem.
It's not a defense.
It's not a defense.
And I think a lot of people that would sit and listen to this podcast and hear our accents, especially mine, would think that we're, and so deep inside some holler somewhere, in the mountains, which we are in the mountains. But
we're not a holler.
No, this isn't a holler. This is,
Big blindfolded me before I got here.
That's all. I swore him to secrecy. I was like, you're going into the lair.
But if you looked at our town that we're in, it's pretty damn diverse.
It is. It's very diverse. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that it's at least 15% non-white. If you were to look at the...
Well, this neighborhood right here that census. I'm in, I have several black neighbors.
Yeah.
Good neighbors.
Yeah. Well, and
Fudd too. Fudd's in this neighborhood.
Yeah. And I've talked to people about this too, about like the history locally in Hazard. And there's areas just down a couple streets over and then down into close to downtown. You had predominantly black neighborhoods back in the early 50s, 40s.
Well, when I grew up, where I grew up was predominantly black.
Yep.
We were one of the only white families up there. I wouldn't trade that time in my life for nothing. It was a good experience.
And what's weird now is
made a lot of lifelong friends there.
Yeah, but now that's not the case. Now it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite in that neighborhood.
It's mostly
opposite in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Lothair is a good example. It was predominantly black pre-1950s.
I did not know that.
Yeah. My dad was born and raised in Lothair, and I didn't know about any of this.
Yeah,
and I'm just now learning about this.
Here comes the Philster, just segregate or desegregate.
I made a few changes when I come into town.
If we're talking politics, honestly, can we give a cheap plug?
Yeah,
go for it.
To our favorite barber,
dude.
Our favorite barber,
Jade Teague. So what's the official? What's he running for? Official
school board.
I'm not going there no more.
Hazard City School Board.
I don't have any kids.
He's dropping that comb, and I don't like it.
Oh yeah.
Dropping
that comb.
Dropping that comb in my lap. I'm just fiddling around trying to pick it back up. I'm like,
taking his time.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think you're going to the wrong Jade Teague.
You sure? You're not going to the right barber.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't do manscaping.
Not the Jade Teague from Vico?
No, that's Earl.
I just mispronounced his name. I called him Jade Teed. No, Jade's a good guy.
No, he's.
I can't think of anybody better.
Yeah.
To represent the kids in Hazard, lifelong bulldog. Nobody bleeds more blue and gold than that guy. I'm proud of him.
He's invested in. He's got a kid himself.
He's got such a big. Client base down there.
Man,
you had to book a month and a half out.
Listen,
and I love it for him. Nobody more deserving. I swear.
Yeah. I tried to get him to get me a haircut. So I've not got a haircut from him yet.
Yeah,
and I found out I had to get a appointment because he's got so many.
Yeah. It's and that's pretty cool. I don't know of many barbershops in Eastern Kentucky in general that you had to make an appointment.
Yeah,
to go to.
He just won the. I seen it on the Facebook, so it's real. Yeah. He just won the Herald Leader's favorite barber award. I seen that.
Yeah.
So congrats to him for that one.
Congratulations, Mr. Jade Teague.
So there's your cheap
plug,
buddy.
Commercial for Jade.
Well,
I think it was a good one.
Yeah.
Jade,
good one.
If you've heard Dewey's commercial and you approve, reach out to us. We might make you a special commercial.
Like I have to book my stuff 6 or 7 weeks out.
Yeah.
He bumps it down to 4 weeks because he makes me keep my right hand lotioned up.
Right.
I mean, for
in the glove.
In the glove.
Like
I keep in the glove, not the OJ glove, but the glove.
What kind of bottle
like a
is
mice
this?
and men? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's 4 weeks, like clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to him when he was up on the hill there at the other
Carmel.
house. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought we could just walk in. No, not with Jade Teague. You
No,
have
sorry.
to make an appointment 6 months ahead of time.
And a deposit.
And a deposit, yeah.
Blood sample. Semen sample.
We got Fudd here with us. There's something I want to ask you about. And something I have tried desperately to find, and I cannot find. You were part of a reality show that was being
Oh yes.
yeah, a porno tape that was leaked around the neighborhood. No,
We tried to tell this, but I'm sure we butchered it because we didn't have you here.
yeah. We
I
actually
recall.
the Hollywood Comes as a Hazard episode.
Yes.
We mentioned a potential reality show.
Do you?
What was it called?
I think it was the same people that done the bunch in Clay County. I think they eventually went with those guys down there. But if I'm not mistaken, was it called Kentucky Brown or something like that, or
like the
Kentucky Law?
The promo had something like the Real Dukes of Hazzard. They were playing off the Hazzard thing.
Yeah.
But I know that wasn't the title of the actual.
Right. The teaser that they sent us it said the Real Dukes of Hazzard. They started it with the General Lee doing the jump, of course, but then they're like, those are made up stories. These are the real stories of Hazard.
Where do I keep getting the title Welcome to Hazard?
Because it was in that teaser. It had the sign down there past the city courts.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was right there. It was right there at Master Tech, the old sign that they're redoing.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer made it look like it was going to be the Fudd show.
Yeah, it was Fudd Rich.
Well, fellas, when you got it, you got it.
I mean, it was going to be.
I had it at one point.
It was going to be your show.
I don't have it anymore.
How long did? Because I mean, obviously, we never saw the pilot. How long did they film it?
Man, they were with me probably every day for a month. And I was a supervisor at that time. Yeah, believe that. Somebody put me in a supervisor position.
Yeah, that's somebody
risky.
That was not real bright.
Somebody worked very good with the background checks and the.
Yeah, well, they got a lot of, and we're playing, Minesweep on this computer. Or MySpace at the time.
Right.
But no, they were with me for about a month. I would get to pick and choose my calls and stuff like that, and they wanted me to take some night shifts, and I was like, "Hey, you're pushing it, pal," because I didn't work past 4.
Well, they were trying to make a star out of you.
Well, I mean, they could only work with what they had, and I didn't have a whole lot to give them at that time. It was just.
Well, how was your experience with that? Did you enjoy it? Or
they were British. The camera people were. They had one guy. They had like one guy in the front seat, and he had the camera on you at all times. So of course I went down, 28 to Buckhorn and slung him all over the parking lot. But and then they had the one guy that would sit in the back and had the microphone that was kind of hooked to your cage, the back side of your cage there, so you didn't miss anything. And then they had the camera that was set up in front of you, so they can. It's kind of like dash cam, like taxi karaoke or what was it? You remember that? Taxi cab karaoke or something like that.
I think
it was a game show. Wasn't it?
Philster was going to say Taxi Cab Confessions.
I almost did.
That's where he was going with
that. Was the best show.
HBO.
Do you remember back in the day, like before we had, and this is totally off subject, but before we had everything streaming now, you had to pinch the channel between 21 and 22.
Yes.
And you seen like a grainy nip, and you had to time it just right.
That was
it required a lot of imagination.
Yeah,
back then.
Growing up here, we're going all over the place here.
Ruined a lot of socks because that grainy tip.
Oh,
we're going all over the place here with the conversation, but like why you bring it up? But I remember growing up, we had like 4 channels.
Yeah,
and the movie channel.
Yeah.
I mean, we had all
21.
these basic
21.
channels like ABC, NBC, CBS, and the movie channel. Why the hell did we have the movie
we had
channel?
WG.
Because when you got done feeling good about yourself watching Topanga Lawrence, you could flip it over there and see the grainy tit on 21.
Yeah, I mean, it was
you
honestly.
could feel like the dirty person that you were.
Topanga.
Topanga.
Oh, my.
Topanga or Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah.
I need to know. This will tell me what kind of person you are.
Kelly Kapowski, I guess, because that was around my time.
I'd say Topanga.
Wrong answer for both of you. It's Jesse Spano. Did y'all see Showgirls? Are you crazy?
I've seen it a few times.
I think my DVD is paused on that show, or my VHS.
Yeah,
it's right there on the pull.
I may have watched it a time or two. I can't remember.
God bless Nomi Malone.
Right.
Honestly, you've seen it way more than me because I can't remember the character's name.
I can.
What was her name?
Nomi Malone. I almost got it tattooed on me.
Nomi Malone.
Yeah. Because she had the one eye one color and the other eye, I was looking at her eyes. She had the one eye one color and the other one was like, one was brown and one was green.
Dude, there was a guy in our academy class that was like that.
Yeah. Tristan.
Yep. Tristan.
Sorry.
So back to the reality show. Yeah, they were nice guys. They were, like I said, from Britain. They would email back and forth. The administration I was under at that time kind of put a halt to it. They felt like it wasn't going to go anywhere. And I get it. A lot of shows have came in here and tried to stereotype Eastern Kentuckians, and it was nothing like that. It wasn't showing the worst of the worst. I mean, we do have some bad people here, and we do have some bad, sad situations here with the drug problem and stuff like that.
Right.
But it wasn't depicting that at all.
I didn't get that at all. Like that, it was a stereo. To me, it just, like I said, it looked like the Fudd show.
Yeah, and I enjoyed doing it. There were a couple lines in there, that a lot of people still come up to me today. I arrested one lady, and I was shining the light up her nose, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "I've been drywalling. I've got a family of carpenters.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. That's what my family's done for 100 years. And I was like, honey, you got something up your nose, and it ain't a booger. I said, and it ain't drywall. I said, so what kind of peel is it? And that was one of the lines when I said it ain't a booger. She, that was one of the lines on there. She had a big old Percocet that she had just hanging out of her nose. I remember it like it was yesterday. And she knew one of my brothers, so she tried to name drop my brother's names and stuff like that. But
what was her excuse for having the peel up her nose?
She'd been painting and drywalling.
I thought she did.
And she had a booger. So it might be a booger. She said she don't know what it is.
Didn't you have one tell you that the doctor told you had prescribed her to snort?
Yeah, said it would get in her bloodstream faster if she snorted it.
So you need to snort these, darling.
You need to snort them to make them go in there faster.
Maximum effect.
I would give any amount of money that I had. Well, not a whole lot, but to have that video. I would love to have that trailer.
I would love to too. I've looked for it. And
I went back in my old emails and stuff, and apparently they delete them after so long.
I thought that I had actually screen recorded that.
I thought I had it saved in my attachments in one of my old emails.
Man, it has to still be out there somewhere. Like it's the internet. The internet's forever.
Yeah. So, I can't think of the name of the show in Clay County, but I recall them.
It was something, yeah. Because I knew
like
the guys.
Backwoods Law or something
like that. Because when I left Hazard, I moved away. Mm-hmm. I moved to Manchester over in Clay County.
Yeah.
I came home one day and the sheriff was sitting there on my porch, and I was like, "Oh my God!" The circuit judge in Hazard has issued a bench warrant for me because I didn't show up to court or something other. It's going to throw a cop in jail.
Right.
But and I was like, he said, "Are you Fudd?" I was like, "Yeah, it depends. If I got a warrant." And he was like, "No, I want to give you a job." And it was, you talk about another type of world. Clay County is a third world country over there. It is.
Yeah.
It's like District 12 from the Hunger Games. It's ridiculous over there. Yeah. Like my first night alone, the sheriff is like, "Hey, I know you're new to this county. You don't know a whole lot about it. But if we need to slap somebody, you come and pick me up and we'll go slap somebody." Well, and, I just liked having that kind of support in my corner. If we need to slap somebody, I knew the guy was legit because he had a picture on his desk in this order: his wife and Hulk Hogan. So in that,
why wouldn't you have a picture of Hulk Hogan beside your wife? Who doesn't?
Was it Southern Justice?
That might have been it.
Southern Justice.
That might have been it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Seems like I remember this, but I don't know.
I want to think it was, and I met a couple of the guys from that show.
Yeah.
Through my adventures in Clay County. that was very short lived.
Yeah. Let's see what else I can find on here.
Southern Justice.
Fortunately, I did not have to get tased in Clay County.
Would it have been worse in Clay County?
Might have been dirtier.
They reused the barbs in Clay County?
They might have reused the barbs.
Oh, so I think it was just like an episode of Southern Justice that was in Clay County. It seems like maybe that was that show.
I think they had a moonshine still.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
How far away is Clay County from where
40
we're at?
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I think A&E might have been what that aired on. But they had several agencies that they kind of showed on it. Dude, there's like
your pug would be so jealous.
Yeah. There's
like a chameleon gangbang.
Sack on
chameleon orgy. Or no, it's a salamander orgy on our TV.
That is like, I gotta get air.
Everybody's distracted. We're sitting there having a conversation.
Look at the one down here. His eyes are on the back of his head.
He's dead.
He's dead. They killed him.
Yeah, we're having a conversation here, and all of a sudden on this TV, we have a huge TV.
He's hugging him.
There's like 50 salamanders just making
That's how I
love.
looked when I walked in when Philster got me.
Yeah, well,
he hugged me like that.
Come on in, Fudd.
What's happening?
Uh-oh.
What? It's a love pat. It's a love pat. Do you see it tapping it?
You don't need a swing underwater.
You know what the funny thing about this whole thing is? It's narrated by Garth Brooks. I seen it when it was coming on. Could you imagine that? Seeing these comedians have this big old party.
Oh, that one on the bottom's just kind of letting it happen, ain't it?
Look at all those. They're going to be mating soon. You know?
Oh, jeez.
Well, that was random.
That was I looked up. I completely forgot what I was talking about.
You know, I used to keep.
I've seen these salamanders.
When we first started doing this, I would turn the TV on and like leave it on like the news channel just in case something like interesting would happen, breaking news or something.
That was interesting, all right.
And you know, I don't know
if
why
it's elk orgy on here. I'm going to lose it.
It's on National Geographic apparently, and Fudd just got really distracted by a salamander orgy.
I think we all did.
Yeah. Well, you know, once
did you see it? Yeah. It was happening.
Once the train starts moving, I jump on and go along with it. You know,
I just didn't want to be the caboose. You know?
Yeah. Well, speaking of awkward moments, I've got a story on. We talked about this in the past about things, pranks that we had pulled and. That kind of got us in trouble, but then we had a listener that
in the comment section.
Yeah.
Well, do you want me to go ahead and read just go ahead and do
sure,
that, or
absolutely?
Because this is something that's become a kind of a popular segment on our show. Is we send out we put out a post on our Facebook page every week. Every time we put a recording up, we every time we plan on doing a recording, we do this topics post on our Facebook page where we ask you, the listener, what would you like to hear us discuss or talk about? We had a few this week. I'm going to start with the first one that we received, and it's from Jacob Sizemore. Pranks you've pulled in the past.
That backfired, right?
Well, no, just pranks you've pulled in the past.
Oh, okay.
Now, I was discussing this with you before, and I told you I had one that I know of that went south.
Yeah, and I want to hear it.
Well, nobody has ever heard this story because
I'm so excited right now.
It's bad.
I'm not like
listen. No,
I'm not like salamander orgy party excited, but I'm super excited for this.
It involved me and my lifelong friend John. We
co-host John.
No.
Okay.
No, I know a lot of Johns. We know a lot of Johns.
I bet you do.
I know a lot of Johns. For years, we were sworn to secrecy that we would never, ever tell anybody about this.
Well, you're a shitty friend because you're about to tell.
No, I know. I had this conversation with him. Well, I had this conversation before I decided I've got to change names and I have to do some dancing.
Yeah.
One night I stayed all night with my friend John, and we had another friend. What kind of friend? I don't want to say he was a friend. It's somebody acquaintance, right. Somebody we occasionally, hung out with. We'll say his name is Eduardo. Okay. And we annoyed this person a lot of times. We would aggravate him or whatever. Well, one night we decided we were going to prank call him. We were going to prank call Eduardo. So we called Eduardo. or Eduardo. I could have picked an easier name to pronounce.
We call him Eddie for
Just
short.
call Ed.
Well, that's his real name. But anyway,
Damn it.
we called Eddie to prank call Eddie. Let's just go ahead and throw it out there.
Yeah.
We're prank calling this gentleman named Eddie.
Oh.
And Eddie decided, we didn't know it, but I guess Eddie had
That
decided to have a prank call or a party for the backwoods. And, well, somebody answered the phone that wasn't Eddie.
Right.
And John and I were just making goofy sounds. We weren't even really saying nothing. I don't even remember what we said, but it was just like noises, like blah, 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 you know.
Okay, I was going to ask for a
goofy,
sample of the noises.
Goofy, just whatever. It was nothing clever.
I thought it was going to be moaning or something.
It was a terrible prank call, you know. Well, you know, in the background, you can hear a lot of rap music playing, a lot of people talking. It's a party.
Right.
Not a lot of white kids.
Right.
Just, you know, it is what it is. Eddie was probably the only white kid there,
Yeah.
and he was the one throwing the party. Well, this person said, you know, after we started making our noises, this guy decides to pull the phone back and holler across the room. He yelled across the room, hey, Stewart. Stewart's not this guy's real name, but when he said this name, we knew, oh, shit. Hey, Stewart, this so-and-so just called you a N-word.
Oh, shit.
We looked at each other with horror and
Yeah.
hung up
Yeah.
because we knew neither one of us had said
They
that
had caller
word.
ID, didn't they?
No, we had star 67, so we had our number.
The old star 67.
So nobody knew who he was, but we didn't say that.
Yeah.
We were just making some kind of goofy noises. But he said, "Hey, Stewart, this mother effer just called you the N-word with the GA, you know, not the hard R." Anyway, some time passes, and then we find out. I don't know. I'm gonna jump ahead here a little bit. We went over to another person's house that we knew, and he had a baseball bat. And he said, we asked him, "Why you got this baseball bat for?" He said, "Man, there's a bunch of people trying to attack. Give me a fake name.
George.
George. There's a bunch of people harassing George. I've got to go meet him, and you know, whatever."
Right.
Didn't think nothing of it.
Right.
Well, about a week later, we found out George was hospitalized.
And this, so this was the result of.
Yes. George was hospitalized by Stewart and a group of his friends. And they stomped him, stomped his head, broke his jaw, teeth. They messed him up, dude.
Wow.
And when we found out why they did it, they said George had called Eddie at his party and called Stewart the N-word.
Wow.
Poor George.
Now, John,
Poor George got a beating.
John, listen. John and I knew.
I don't want to be on here anymore. I don't
we
feel safe at all.
We knew, like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We knew what had transpired there. And, like, the thing is nobody ever said the N-word.
Right.
I don't even know how they put George in the situation.
Yeah.
Unless they just wanted to whoop his ass, or they just decided, okay, let's pick this guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy that we're going to say.
Could have been previous beef, but man.
Could have been.
I don't know.
Could have been just an excuse to whoop George's ass, you know.
So basically, you almost got someone killed.
Yeah, but I mean, it was completely, you know.
You no longer have my consent to put anything that I say.
You know all the people involved.
I don't want to be. I don't want to know the people. I don't want to know the story afterwards. I don't want to know the story during. I don't want to know real names.
Yep.
I'm going to assume, if I'm right here, the person that is Stewart is deceased.
Yeah, most of these people are deceased.
I think from an overdose, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, George and Stewart both are deceased.
Yeah.
Actually, both from drugs.
So, you know,
if I'm not mistaken,
not a high probability. Of you
so I don't think anybody's
down
going
with
to
a
come
baseball
back
bat. At least tonight, anyways.
But you know, we kept that little story under our in our pockets for years.
Yeah, I wouldn't have told anybody anything.
You probably should have kept it there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm at an age now I don't give a shit. You know,
I'm not quite that age yet.
Yeah,
I'll still give a shit from time to time. I will still give one.
But the thing is, you know,
I'm getting closer, but not there yet.
an innocent, stupid little prank phone call that just completely and it wasn't even a clever prank phone call. When Eddie didn't answer, it was some other guy that answered. We just kind of just winged it, blah, 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 made noises. And somehow, and that guy that answered the phone knew we didn't say the N word.
Well,
he just wanted to get Stuart fired up, or
beats the hell out of all my pranks.
Well, this wasn't even this was like
yeah, it's hard to follow that.
This is like
maybe we should have led with it.
This is like a kid throwing a banana pile into a banana peel into the street and causing a 20-car pile.
I thought you were going to say down the hallway.
This was totally unintended consequences.
She did have to go back out and make another $50.
I can't unsuck that one, right?
Well, yeah, that's pretty bad.
We never breathed a word of this for years because we didn't want to.
I still think it's too soon.
We did not want what happened to George to happen to us.
Yeah,
I don't want it to happen to me either.
So,
but here's the thing, though. Honestly, growing up, I was friends with everybody involved.
Yeah,
George and Stuart.
Yeah,
and I think if Stuart had known that, if I'd have went to us to do that, was us that called that prank. We didn't call it. He would probably believe me.
Right. Yeah.
Because I had a pretty good relationship.
Well,
but at the same time, I didn't want to make him mad.
That's kind of why it sounds like there was probably some previous.
There's
something going on there.
Just need an excuse.
There was probably something like that, or they just wanted to whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't have anything that bad.
Well, mine are a lot more innocent. Nobody got hurt.
Well, hit us with an innocent one, Fudd.
This will go back to my high school days.
Let's hear it.
Are you ready for this one?
Oh, yeah.
So
strapped in.
In high school, I dabbled a little bit in the game of basketball. Dabbled doesn't mean I didn't get to play a lot.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I did not dabble in that. So junior year, we have a transfer come in, and we are taking our. He comes in from Cordia, so he's a little rough around the edges. One of my lifelong friends. But we go to Florida, our Christmas trip, and we are with a future mayor's son in that room, and so we knew we weren't getting in trouble.
We all took our shirts off and started making love.
No, we snuck out.
Okay.
So the kid from Cordia.
I'm just trying to help you. You're new here, so I'm trying to help you out a little bit.
No, the lovemaking was after. After it was the next morning when we done that. So we sneak out and we're in Destin, Florida, and he's like, it's pitch black. We're on the beach. And he's like, so Fudd, I need you to walk behind me. He said, I'm going to have my feet real close together. He said, you spread yours a little further walking, not laying on your back and spread them. But, and the future mayor's son is behind me. And he's like, you make it wider. So we're walking a path, okay, in the sand. We go back to our room, don't think nothing of it. The next morning, our coach has a team meeting and says, I want to know who snuck out and walked a football field-sized dick in the sand. For everybody, it was above where the water comes up, So there's just it was right around when Superbad came out.
I'm trying not to laugh, man, because my throat's sore.
Well, it looks like your face is sore, but but there's this huge pecker.
Oh God!
In the sand. I'm talking football field. It had like the little squiggly lines on the balls, so it looked like hairs and stuff. You know how we used to draw them.
Circumcised.
Yeah, circumcised the whole 9 yards.
The whole thing. Yeah.
And the coach knew it was one of us because we're the only bastards there that's, half our age.
I gotta say, man, that's pretty creative. Like,
yeah, I done the same thing when I worked.
Yeah.
When we were co-workers on the football field.
Yeah.
I done the same thing there.
Yeah.
Oops, but it was with snow.
It was with snow. It was different.
I've got a good story about a snow pecker.
No, you don't.
For a future episode.
No, you don't.
For a future episode.
Yeah.
and another special guest.
Yeah.
So that was that's what happened. I think we ran the dick out of the sand.
I'm glad you're here to tell this story because we were low on penis stories this week.
Well,
I was kind of hoping somebody.
There's your sand penis story for the week.
Which I think I broke that though when I told the
that's true. Yeah, but
frowny face story.
Yeah, Well, we've got.
I think John would be proud.
Yeah, I think he would. He's smiling somewhere right now.
Yeah,
he's smiling around his campfire.
The world is right now.
He's like, fun for the penis, right? You know?
What about you, Mr. Thick? Do you have a an awkward tale for our listeners?
Awkward or pranking?
Well, it was a prank.
It
was awkward, but it got awkward.
Yeah, or awkward prank tale, whatever.
And it backfired.
Whatever the hell this subject is or topic.
So when I was much younger, I had a friend nicknamed DW. He and my brother, we'd go out like in the evenings, Friday night, Saturday night, and we lived there in Bluegrass Hollow, so we'd right almost in the center of town. We'd go out and do whatever. Well, at the time they were building what's now named the Gorman Bridge. All right, so this was towards the end of high school. They had the road down to one lane. Construction barrels and cones and stuff were all over the place. They had like a little little miniature barricades and stuff set up. Well, we got bored, and at the time, my ex-brother-in-law worked for the local police department. And so we come up with this plan. We were like, you know what? Let's go block the road and make him have to come out there and unblock it. And once we block it, we'll double back to the house because he'll call the house. Guaranteed, he'll call the house to see if we're
the culprits, right?
Exactly. So we go and we block the road. We double back to the house, and phone rings, and it's him. And he's like, "Hey, Thick, are you guys home?" And I'm like, "Man, you're talking to me on the phone. Obviously, we're home."
I answered, and this is before everybody had cell phones.
Yeah, it's before most people. I didn't have a cell phone until way later, But no, he had to obviously see that we were at the house. And he'd go, "All right, okay," and he'd hang up. We'd run back out there and do it again. We did this like 4 times. Finally, we got tired of running back. So this last time we did it, we ducked down in the ditch that was right up against the highway. And this car pulls up, like you see the headlights stop and blue lights come on. Someone's cussing. And like you can hear barrels being thrown and stuff.
It was Donkey Kong.
And what I know the sound is now, I didn't know the sound was then. You could hear leather snap, right? Breaking of leather. So I was like, we better not move. And I told my brother and Dito, it's like lay as flat as you can. And this light just started shining across that ditch line and went right over top of our heads, real slow. Hear a car door slam, tires squeal, and the lights fade. We ran back to the house. So we quit, after that. It's like 4th or 5th time we quit.
Cashing in your chips.
Dude, fast forward like 10 years. I get hired at this police department. And the deputy chief, with Fudd. I'm talking to the deputy chief, and he said, I've just got this one thing to ask you. Because we were talking about where
is this an interview
from? Yeah. I was telling where I was from and stuff and all this junk, and he said, was it you? And I said, I was like, that could be me on a lot of things. What are you talking about specifically? And he goes, that blocked the road that night. And I said, I'm not going to ask where, but yeah. That was me.
What he says to you afterwards is what when you told me this story was like the fun, like
he was going to kill
frustrated.
Me. He was going to kill me. 100%. He had considered just shooting a bunch of rounds across that ditch line. I was like, thank you for not doing that because we were in it.
The next day, a couple bodies were found.
Yeah. That could have got really, really bad.
Yeah. Prank's gone south.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're on the topic of blocking roads, what about the bubble barricade?
Oh my gosh.
The bubble barricade. That was
the what?
You want to start on that?
Let's hear it.
So everybody's done it or has at least attempted to do it.
I don't know if they've done it. It's like a rite of passage.
I don't know if they've done it this big.
No.
The fountain.
That was the worst.
Oh God. Yeah.
The fountain at City Hall.
Yeah.
when I tell you, like, there was so much Dawn in this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Dawn, shampoo. There was so much Dawn. It looked like one of the commercials, like where they're rescuing the baby seals and stuff with all the Dawn dishwashing liquid. And, no, I'm telling you, the wall of bubbles was 9 feet high and 13 foot across the road.
I know when you're talking. I think I'm pretty sure I know when you're talking about. It kept
coming.
Yeah. So we're working third shift. Fudd and Thick on the shift together. Thick and Fudd. And that right there, that's like where everybody messed up. They should have never put us on shift together.
They should have never done it.
It was so boring. There was nothing.
And I was on third shift because of the incident.
Yeah.
Oh, because it
was now referred to as the incident.
Yeah, we were bored and we had this box of Tide.
So we started looking at this from a scientific perspective.
Yeah. The window that overlooked the old PD.
Yeah, you could see everything from there. You know, the fountain, you know, everything that was lit up in that area. You could see if someone was coming down the road. And so
camera angles.
Yeah, it was a matter of just breaking the code to how do you produce more bubbles than what's been done before?
Yeah.
And we figured it out. Time.
A lot.
Yeah, time. Because we got, I can't even remember how many things of Dawn.
It was so much.
It was a bunch.
It was a bunch.
Like a bucket or two, maybe.
And we were on city pay. So
yeah,
we had to get the cheap stuff, you know.
Yeah. So
cheaper the better.
Yeah, we timed it. We would dump a bunch of this in there and then wait like an hour or two. Then dump more. And because what was happening before is if you dumped it all at one time,
it would bubble out.
Yeah, the bubbles got so heavy.
There was no dishwashing liquid.
Yeah, it would
left
pop the ones below it.
Yeah.
So we did, you know, some Dawn, waited a while. Dawn, waited a while. Dawn, waited a while. Oh my goodness.
So you all worked this shit out like a scientific equation.
With food coloring.
That was bad.
Dude, I come through there one night. It's probably the nights we're talking about.
Yeah.
I come through there
You'll
one
not
night.
forget it.
They stopped traffic.
And it was
like
huge.
They had traffic one lane by Martin Signs.
Yeah, it went all the way to Martin Signs. Fudd had to go home and get a leaf blower and blow it out of the street to open up traffic.
So they made you clean it up too?
And didn't know it was me that done it. I was cussing. I was like, damn these bubbles. But I was laughing the whole time. These damn bubbles and kids.
If I find out who did this,
you know,
someone's going to get the neck wrung.
Yeah, an old Unit 389 sitting up there in the window laughing and drinking his coffee.
I know. You know, here's
that
the
son
funny
of a bitch.
thing.
He'll put more bubbles in there, won't he?
He's bubbled the fountain again.
I remember somebody that used to do that who was also a police officer.
Yeah. What's up with that?
That's what I want to ask.
That's a common denominator.
The only people that apparently are sudding the fountain were cops.
Dude,
kids have no ingenuity anymore.
They don't. These get degrees, okay?
John's brother used to be a city cop.
Yeah.
Well, he would go by and flood that thing every night. Like I can't remember what they said he'd throw in a box of Tide or something.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was.
They figured out how to make it stop.
Well, John told me they
did they?
Yep.
Really?
Conditioner.
Really?
Conditioner. They start putting conditioner in it.
Man.
Oh.
And that levels it out.
John told me that it happened
sense.
like 3 or 4. He did it 3 or 4 times in a row. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they finally hired John's brother, the person that was doing it, to stake out in the building across the street in the upstairs and watch to catch somebody. And he was the one doing it.
I mean, the punishment should fit the crime.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, John was telling me another story. He used to, you know, when he worked for PD down there, he used to call him and say, there's a strange character walking around the lower street here below his house.
Yeah.
And when the squad car would come up, he'd hit their car with potatoes.
So he'd call that in?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it just so happens I have a call that involves the fountain.
Really?
Of all things.
The fountain.
Yeah. Let's get this going here.
Let's hear it. This is my favorite segment.
These are my favorite segments.
I'm glad it's back. We've not had one in what?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hazard Police Department, this is Cruz.
Hi, everybody. I just got Main Street there, everybody, and I looked over in that fountain. There's a fella snorkeling in that fountain right now. Man, I seen his snorkel stuck up out right there outside of City Hall. What? Where? Yeah. He wearing a shirt with an American flag on it, and some kind of skull thing, an American flag on his shirt, buddy. He drew the chance up. He said he had a bandana on with with like stars and stripes on it, but what we call it, like a rebel flag or whatever. That's what he
Describe
wears.
me a redneck
You
Hulk
better get down
Hogan.
here. He's sitting out right now. He's got a whole bag full of change. Hurry, man. He's running for the river. Hurry, man. All right, get on down here. Go, man. Get out, man. I got to go, man. He's jumping out of his fountain with a snorkel on the back full of too right now. Get that fella. Get him.
Get that fella. It's killed me.
Okay.
It's killed me.
I was having a hard time making some of that out. What, did he say there was a guy in the fountain with a snorkel?
He was snorkeling.
Yeah, there was a guy in the fountain snorkeling, taking all the pennies out of inside of the fountain.
Okay. And who was the guy in the background yelling?
I don't know. I guess
that
it was
the
guy that was
snorkeler?
with him.
I think he was yelling at the snorkeler.
Okay.
I think he was talking to
him.
I think he was talking to dispatch and the snorkeler and the police on scene.
Was one of you all the snorkelers?
No.
His name's Fudd.
I'm not a swimmer.
I just like how his response is, hello? At the end.
Yeah.
He is so disinterested in
The
this entire
dispatcher?
thing. Yeah.
Dispatcher.
You're just a dispatcher.
Well, those are some of my favorites. Do you remember when they used to give out like Officer of the Year awards?
Uh-huh.
How many did you end up with?
Oh, I got a runner up one time.
he got a nod.
See? I got a he's got all the awards. He's got all kinds of awards.
3.
He's got all kinds of awards.
Did you really get them?
Yeah. I got one in honor of him. Though.
Oh, really?
I was disqualified because of the incident.
Yeah.
Because of the cat?
Yeah. No, so we had a pairing of they were family, the dispatchers at the time.
Yeah.
The dispatchers. And they were all hung up on these awards. And I remember we printed off all those third runner-up dispatch, and we bought frames and hung them in their office.
Yeah.
And you talk about mad or hell when I came in there and seen third place dispatcher for the year out of 3 dispatchers.
So our captain, our operations commander, he received Old Man of the Year.
Yeah, everybody got awards.
Yeah.
Old Man of the Year?
It was like participation trophies. Everybody got awards.
Everybody got awards.
So.
Well, don't
make me feel left out.
It just seemed like
hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too. A lot of times the person that should have got it didn't get it.
The award that goes to the best pepper spray to an animal goes to.
Yeah. True story. I will die on this hill. I got more awards than so and so one year, and they were counted. Yeah. I counted them myself, and they gave it to somebody else.
Yeah,
I know it for a fact.
Yeah,
because they all voted me as a prank.
Yeah.
And they gave it to somebody else.
Did you stand up in the middle of the ceremony and scream, "This is bullshit"?
If I'm not mistaken,
I think that's how I got my second place trophy.
Was it not the deputy chief that decided that made the audible call? And
he made the audible. So if you're listening, deputy chief,
sheriff, whatever you call yourself,
whatever you want to call yourself, Mr. Grace.
Yeah, Mr. Grace.
We should cut that one.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it.
I still remember that. And this is speaking directly to you. The wolf remembers.
The wolf remembers.
The wolf. You'll know what I'm talking about when you hear it.
Was this your nickname on the force, the wolf?
No, that's what he called me. Yes.
Fudd's like a wild animal.
It's the wolf. The wolf remembers.
Fudd was like that cop that just all the bad guys knew not to mess with.
No, they were the ones they called. Like, can you give me a ride? I'm drunk. I'd go get them. I'd go get my buddies.
Fudd doesn't mind going up to the line and step over them.
Funny story about, one of those bad guys. I was fresh out of the academy, probably 215 pounds. And there was a guy, he was a local that was famous for sniffing spray paint, and his favorite flavor was gold. So I get a call. He's up on Baker. He's hiding, and the guy's a big man. He's not a small man by any means.
Yeah.
And he's hiding behind this. It looks like a flower pot, and I'm not talking about a big flower pot. I'm talking about one that holds about 6 plants.
Yeah.
And he's drunk, and you can see the gold ring around his face where he's huffing the spray paint.
He looked like gold dust from right here.
Yeah, he did. Or he serviced gold dust.
Well,
One of the two. Something happened with gold dust. So he was like, you ain't taking me to jail, Fudd. I said, yes, I am. He said, no, you ain't taking me. And I said, all right, buddy. I said, we got Mr. Spray Paint. We got 3 options. That's what he's going to be called, Mr. Spray Paint. We got 3 options. He said, what's option number 1? I said, me and you get in a fight.
Take your pants off.
That was way down my list of options. That was way down there. That's almost near the bottom of the options. The other one's me take my pants off. You
don't know how this works, Phil.
You don't know. We're telling cop stories here now. I said, option 1, me and you get in a fight, and I wear you out, and I take you to jail anyway. He said, well, you ain't going to beat me up. I said, option number 2, me and you get in a fight, and you with me, and then I call up all my buddies that wear the same uniform, and we come and beat the brakes off you and charge you with a felony, and you go to jail anyway. He said, what's that 3rd option? I said, well, Mr. Spray Paint, I'll let you finish that 5th of vodka that you're drinking. I'll throw you back to the car, charge you for AI, and I'll come back and get you when your 8 hours is up. We went option number 3. Yeah. So I never had a problem out of him from then on out. So
that was a good option.
It was like
Andy good option for him to take.
That was Andy Griffith. Yeah. You know, it was very Andy-eth.
There's a lot of opportunities in policing to do things the hard way, but then as time goes on, you start to figure out.
I can't fight a lick.
There's no.
I never could fight.
A lot of times, there's no need to fight.
The cat got the worst of it.
Yeah,
you know.
Times were hard for gold dust.
Which you could, for the most part, you could talk your way through most situations.
People talk themselves into going to jail. Like 9 times out of 10, they'll talk themselves right into going to jail.
Now, every now and then, you'll get that one person. All they know is fighting. I mean, in Eastern Kentucky in general, a lot of people that they know violence. Well, I mean, we kind of. How often have you or heard someone say, I'll kill you, and then the next second they're like, man, I'll see you later. It's like,
buddy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean the word I said.
Just having a rough day, bud.
Exactly. So it's, some people grew up pretty rough too physically.
Bobblehead left me.
They just know
having a rough day.
Physical violence. But most of the time you can talk your way through it. And that's a better experience for probably everybody involved.
We have more topic recommendations if y'all want to hear them.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more. There's a rather long one. I'll save it for last, I guess.
Okay.
Number 2 is from Bryant Combs. Does our artwork.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the artwork he puts on our
awesome
Facebook
stuff.
Page.
Yeah.
And writes children's books.
Yep.
What was his children's books? Good. Sally Sloth.
You got Sally Slow Sloth and the Case of the Missing Award.
I need that.
You do need that.
Where's my damn missing? Where's my damn award?
If you're listening,
Mr. Wolf,
if you're listening, Mr. Combs,
Mr. Grace.
If you could do a story for Fudd, we'd be greatly appreciative of that. Because he needs to know where.
I need to know.
He needs to know where his awards at.
Yeah, but he's got several books. He's got The Flash Flood, A Big Decision.
Bryant Combs says, what do you guys think about college players being able to get paid now? What do you think about college players getting paid to play college sports?
I'm for it.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. They get paid anyway.
Well, I mean, the universities are going to make $1 billion off of them, so why not give them a cut?
Yeah. They get paid. How much money do you think UK makes off of basketball?
I'm a big I'm a UK fan, and one of the with the whole transition to coaches this past year, one of the players that they were recruiting actually signed with Washington on an NIL deal for $2 million to play a year of basketball. 1 year.
Well, and here's the deal though, you get a good player in college.
Right.
They come to your school, they play, they get hurt. Their career's over.
Yeah, I think there should be some kind of insurance against that NIL. They should be guaranteed a percentage.
Yeah.
And I'd say really the big difference now is that the money is going into a different pocket than it was before. The money was always there.
Yeah, it was coming from somebody.
Yeah.
Now it's not have to be hidden.
It's probably going to where it should be in the first place.
Yeah, they made a whole movie on this topic called Blue Chips.
Yeah.
I think Multi, I loved it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it.
Yeah.
But
but to play devil's advocate at the same time, I get people opposing it because these scholarships
Right.
You know, my sister was a graduate of UK, and if it wasn't for a scholarship that she got, she would be paying student loans until the day she died.
Right.
You know, so I get, you know, you get an opportunity to world-class education to play a game. So I get both sides of the story, but I don't see a problem with those guys making some money because of who they are.
I'm not saying, I'm not sitting here going, they pay them. You know, I don't care.
Well, if anything, it might be a better opportunity to set yourself in a better financial situation later on in life, having that early on. Because, you know, that's kind of a thing too, is where you have a lot of professional sports. They end up going bankrupt by the time, you know, because they don't know how to handle money. So I would expect that if I were in the college, at the college point of my life, you know, and I had the right guidance, that would probably help me be better off financially down the road, make better financial decisions. In professional sports, if I moved on to that from college.
Yeah, I have no problem with them getting paid. I mean, I don't really sit and think about this a lot, to be honest with you, because I'm not a college sports fan. It kind of tapped out.
We're never going to see the money.
No, I don't know.
It's not my money. Pay them what the hell they want. It's not my money.
Yeah,
I've always been a very mild to fair weather fan of any kind of sport. So I don't really
Donkey
care.
Ball? Are you a fan of Donkey Ball?
I've never even heard of it.
You never heard of Donkey Ball?
Tell me about Donkey Ball.
They used to play it like at all the old gyms and stuff. I know they would have like people riding donkeys and playing basketball at the same time. It's the damnedest thing you've ever seen. You know, there was donkeys and, you know, people riding these donkeys playing basketball and donkey shitting everywhere. It's wild.
Well, I mean, this sounds enjoyable. I would play some Donkey Ball, Fudd. I'm just talking about like college sports in general, just watching it, you know, being a fan of it.
Yeah.
I could care less. I mean, I watch some ball, you know, but I'm not, you know.
I'd say somebody who would probably have, you know, a lot to say about Duffalo.
Duffalo would absolutely have an opinion.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do one more? We've got one more listener topic.
I'll do as many as you want to do, Philster.
This one,
I'm here for you, pal.
This is kind of a long one, and I'm gonna throw it out there and see if you boys want to touch it.
This is sounding.
I want to touch it.
Do I go ahead and say that's what she said?
This is not gay.
Okay.
I definitely want to touch it.
We've discussed politics, what type of show we want this to be. Is it going to be political or not?
Yeah.
This is a heavy political one. I mean, you've already discussed this thick in private.
Yeah.
Oh.
Todd Clemens says, talk about Trump getting screwed by this illegitimate court system and how President Shitty Pants' son goes on trial next week.
All right.
Also, you can talk about the conspiracy theories about 9/11 and how Pee Wee Herman was the true mastermind. I've seen video proof, but this kind of information could get me killed.
Oh, hello there. Didn't see you come in. You're probably asking yourself, why did they cut away from the show when Phil began to answer Todd's question? Well, it's quite simple, really. We want to keep doing our show. Though the political rant Phil proceeded to go on was epic, it was filled with anger, profanity, sexism, and all kinds of slurs. I think I may even heard a new one or two. Though we don't completely disagree with every part of his rant, we felt maybe for self-preservation it was in our best interest to edit a large chunk of what was an hour-long rant down to what you'll hear in just a moment. I'd also like to take a moment to apologize to this week's guest, Fudd. I've never seen a man's face look so horrified. In all my years of working horrible, horrendous crime scenes, I can honestly say I've never seen a man cry like that. Anyways, enough of my yapping. Here's what's left of Phil's rant after the edits and a few cleverly placed beeps, just for good measure.
You've got the borders wide open with God knows who coming across, rapists, murderers, drug dealers. You've got Hunter Biden smoking crack in the White House. Joe Biden making a fortune from China selling our. Not to mention you got big titted Pelosi making a fortune inside her trading country out. Meanwhile, you've got these woke bastards in schools teaching their children how to suck dick.
We hope you enjoy the rest of the show, and May God have mercy on our souls. Legitimately
if the
reporting
Philster reported news, I would never miss an episode.
The Philster,
well,
live on scene. This is what you get.
Yeah.
Well, except it would be elevated about.
I could hear that
20%.
Yeah.
Just follow me on Facebook, son.
I could see that reporting live from a wreck.
I'm on my third Facebook account right now.
Yeah.
He busted this Mustang all to hell. Hey, you got to see this. I can hear it now. I can hear it now.
And in nature news, the horny pug
wrecked him, damn near killed him. Yeah. In pet news, we have a horny ass pug here.
Something tells me we shouldn't get them and the salamanders together, right?
Yeah. Salamander orgy.
They'd make a good team.
Nut kicking deers and salamander orgies. Yeah, my news station would be a little different, Fudd.
It would be a lot different.
Would you come and work for me as one of my roving
Absolutely,
reporters?
100% not. I would not come work for you.
It's roving reporter Fudd with
the roving reporter,
Inside Edition,
or the raging reporter.
Yeah,
the raging reporter,
reporting live from the Bobby Davis Park.
Or oh man, Bobby Davis Park.
Yeah.
It's forever changed.
Funny story about the Bobby Davis Park.
Really?
Yeah.
I only know one, and it ain't very funny.
No. I was patrolling during Black Gold, and I had a certain former dispatcher who has another.
What, you had a former what?
A dispatcher.
Dispatcher.
A dispatcher. He has another title with the city now. But he and I were walking around patrols, and the little what's the little building?
The Stoner Shack.
The Stoner Shack.
Yeah.
We caught two people go inside there, and we gave them a few minutes so they could get started. And we popped in with those mag lights.
Oh man.
And he had her pants down.
Yeah.
And she had his pants down, and they were standing up. I didn't know how the hell this was going to happen.
I had a situation.
But I just hear him say, I hear the stoner pull his pants up, and he said, I was just pissing. I was pissing. And you have to hear the dispatcher tell the story, but he said, I was just pissing, and I didn't know where he was pissing at. He was pissing in her panties, or pissing on her, or where he was pissing. But that's what he kept saying.
I had a couple back when I would stay at the lumber store and overnight and watch.
Yeah.
There was a couple pulled up in the parking lot right in the front. You know, it's well lit.
Well, sometimes when the moment hits.
Yeah, well, they pounded it out right there, and then I just sat right there in the back of one of the trucks and watched. And then when they were done, I mean, I'm not even joking.
Wow.
When they were done, I'm like, they can't see me.
OnlyFans was different back in the late 90s.
Yeah, it was like
it was OnlyFans. Right?
OnlyFans.
I was drunk every night I night watched.
Yeah.
And I sat there. There's a flatbed truck that we kept right by the gate.
Yeah.
I sat up there, dude, right by the gate. They were like 10 feet, 20 feet away from me.
Oh, wow.
In like a little Toyota Corolla or something.
Yeah.
I sat there on the flatbed of that truck, like on a stage, watching them. And when they were done, I went over there. I remember I gotta go here and talk to these people. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and watch them all night. So after they were done, I went and got my key.
After you got done, you went and
Yeah,
got
that's right. After I was done flicking the old bean.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went out there and I pecked on the window. They were in the back seat, and the windows were kind of foggy a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, they were freaked out. They, we'll leave.
Do you know how many people would get caught behind JCPenney when I was the police? It was so funny. I mean, it was clockwork. It was every weekend. You was catching somebody in a Ford Ranger behind JCPenney or Kmart.
I used to drive a Ford Ranger.
I hope I never seen you in the act.
JCPenney, Kmart, beside Magic Mart.
The Crad.
The Crad building.
Beside the Crad.
The Crad in the park.
Yeah, in the park.
Yeah.
Yep. And then park
Philster's like
construction.
guilty.
Yeah.
No, I never did anything
Dude,
about the
one
Crad
time
building.
on patrol, I ran up on one right in the middle of Highland Avenue in the connector between the PJs and Backwoods. You know, where it was just single lane. It was,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle of the road.
They've got the guardrail spray painted on one side. There's a line on that right, if like the backside of Highland Avenue, where close to Walkertown, it says WTB on it for the Walkertown boys. They've got a spray paint.
Is this a real thing, the Walkertown boys?
Yeah, it's like the Sharks and the Jets back there. They met up on Highland Avenue. snapping.
That reminds me of the BPG.
Yeah.
The backpack gang.
Well, there was the backwoods posse too. We had one up here.
The Liberty Street posse.
There's
the LSP.
Yeah.
And the Combs Nightcrawlers.
The Combs Nightcrawlers.
The Combs Nightcrawlers.
Oh my god.
Well, there was one. What was the other one called? Was there one in Combs?
The Combs Nightcrawlers, 100%. That was the thing.
I know, but what was the other one that those little boys claimed to be part of?
The Combs Nightcrawlers.
Was that what it was called?
Yeah, the CNCs.
Did Allays have one? Or Young Street?
The Young Street. I don't know.
God, dude, Young Street was rough.
We had some real roughnecks around here with these gangs, didn't we? Some real East Coast, West Coast stuff.
We dreaded to see the Black Gold coming. The Black Gold.
Jazz hands.
The Black Gold would come, and the Walktown Boys and the Combs Nightcrawlers would meet up down there.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and step.
Meet at the wayside.
They'd be down there by the goldfish, the pot bottle goldfish. You know,
yeah.
They would have a snap off. You know?
Lord, I remember
they'd fight each other with those combs that popped out like switchblades.
Yeah, switchblade pony boy.
What was that?
Someone hit somebody with a fart bomb, and a tater gun.
When I would not watch down there in a, it was down in Allays. That place was live action all night long. I mean, some of the crazy stuff that I watched a guy shoot a house out of hell down there one night.
Yeah,
and then I see him run up the street with no shoes on and no shirt on.
Yeah,
and then jumped in a car and then took off. I mean, there's always something, But
one of the fondest memories I have of Allays was
getting out of it.
Yeah, one of my friends, he was digging through his dad's toolbox, and he found a VHS tape with the label ripped off. Popped it in the VCR, and it was a videotape of his mom.
No.
Oh yeah.
Getting worked on.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
God.
It was
That'd be so traumatizing.
Yeah.
I didn't go back over.
I would jump off the bridge at Carrefour.
I was like, I don't know if I want your mom to make us lunch.
Yeah. Well, there's a friend of mine told me a story, and I had to change some names, but there was a fella. I'm probably going to miss some of the details of the story, but a fellow that died in a trailer, that lived in a trailer park, I'm not going to say where, had passed away. And when they went to go through his stuff, the police found some home movies. Mm-hmm. And several of them were of a guy that dresses like Santa Claus and maybe rides a motorcycle, pounding out girls while this guy filmed them.
On the motorcycle with a Santa suit
on? I know, just like, I'm assuming in a bed.
It's the same guy that broke his leg during was it Garth Brooks and Black Gold?
It was the same guy that had a rather famous.
Garth Brooks or Cletus T. Judd, one of the two. There was no.
Apparently, this guy had
YouTube.
Apparently, this guy had a rather famous father who could do a really swell trick with a penis and a pop can.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh, the donuts and donuts with no hands.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's all the confirmation I need.
Yeah, so I think people who know will know.
Yeah,
What about talking about penises?
One thing I kind of
so happy.
One thing I kind of wanted to bring up between you boys while we've got you here.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Recent political scandals in our hometown here. What are your thoughts on this situation? You know what I'm talking about. I'll let you take it from here, Thick.
Are we doing this?
What we can do it if you want to.
Man, I didn't want to, but I was coerced.
Yeah, it was my only option because it was the only options he gave me.
You know me, I'm down for whatever. Just like John said, I can sit here and do a strip dance on the coffee table or sell her the Bible.
You recently read the indictment, right?
No. Yeah. A little of it. Don't look at me with your eye.
I mean, I'll say this. I know the person.
Persons.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah. Two of the people involved.
Two of the people involved.
Both perpetrator and perpetrator.
And
perpetrator.
Victim? Question mark?
Yes.
Victim?
Very big question mark.
Is that the right tone?
Maybe it was kind of like a plea deal, more or less, than a victimization for one of these people. But, anyways, it's bad. Like it's
bad.
Really,
it is bad.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody that wins in this.
Well, here's the thing.
Somebody won. Somebody won. Somebody seen one up close.
Yeah. I have
don't
questions.
know if it was the victim.
And the thing is I don't know if I can ask them
ask
what
a
these
question.
mics.
Yeah, ask a question. Let's
this local politician that found himself in a little bit of trouble, maybe spilled some beans on some boys, and
see, I don't know.
Afraid to come back around town.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
My understanding is that he's very.
Can we say who we're talking about and why we're talking about him?
I mean,
because there may be people listening to this that
a former Commonwealth Attorney.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be public knowledge. It's going to be
called
open records.
Trading favors for gay sex and drugs.
What
right?
I was told was that he wanted to stay in jail because he was ashamed of, what all was found out. That's what I was told now, and I don't know if that's true. Of course, the things that you've heard and maybe several others have heard, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I know what the allegations are, and
allegedly.
Yeah, I think that there's not a lot of people surprised when it comes to
the events.
Being ashamed.
What was traded.
Yeah.
Being ashamed is one thing, but it's like, I would just go somewhere else.
I would. Can you though? I mean,
would not want to be in jail.
Yeah, can you though with this? I mean, where are you going to go?
I mean, you could go to New York.
Would that put you on the registry?
Oh, I'm sure. Because
it would have to. Then that wouldn't follow you anywhere.
If what is alleged is true, if let's say that rape occurred, you're 100% going to go on the registry.
I would imagine.
Someone told me the other day that
is it rape though?
Oh yeah,
it would be considered. rape?
That's been well established.
And power, making somebody do that for a favor, yeah.
Okay,
because it's coercion.
Well, that's true.
It's
you're putting someone
of giving consent. You're stuck in a position of. At no point in time should sex be a
bargaining chip
of a plea deal.
Right.
How do you recover from something like that? I mean, you can't go back into practicing law, I wouldn't think, or.
Well, no, I mean, legally he can't, can he? I mean.
I don't know. I don't know, but.
You would think Shilmar's hiring sometime.
Yeah.
You'd come out of jail. I'm assuming working at McDonald's would being in a cell all day. I'm just going to say it would suck. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but I would rather be at a McDonald's or a Shellmart than jail.
Yeah, and that's not to crap on those jobs because there's a lot of people that
make it.
But I'm saying when you're bumped down from being an attorney to being working
you're
cash
humbled
register,
that much, right?
and I think it is fair to say that the public, generally speaking, would put the Commonwealth Attorney as a higher position than working at McDonald's. I'm sure that they would.
Yeah.
The status.
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, a job is a job, and he's probably going to have
gotta pay the bills.
Yeah, he'll have to pay the bills, and I'm assuming he probably won't be able to be a lawyer anymore or an
I
attorney.
wouldn't think so. I think he would be disbarred, but I don't.
I don't know.
I hate the situation. I hate that all this stuff happened. It's definitely a lot different now. But if let's say that what you've heard was true, that he had snitched on some people and stuff, then those people involved need to get theirs too.
Yeah. Oh, if
it's credible, if it's true.
If corrupt, there's nothing I hate worse than a corrupt politician.
No, I mean that's ridiculous.
When you're in charge, when you're being.
Yeah.
They talk about that we serve, like you hear a lot of these politicians say, I have served in the Congress for the, and they're all corrupt.
They were served in Congress, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's not a service. They're
right.
if they're abusing that power that the people vote for these people, and yes, they should be in service to the people that voted them in, but most of them aren't. Mm-hmm. If they are abusing that power, then they need to pay the price.
Right.
Whoever it is, whoever that may be, even if it was me.
Yeah.
But I'm not a politician. I never will be. I'm just some asshole with a microphone.
Who might get tased if we
I
achieve
might
that
get
bar.
tased. And
I'm going to need that to happen.
After this episode and hearing the political stuff, we might have a few listeners.
Maybe not.
That may want to see.
Maybe a few less.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But we may have a few that would like to see my fat ass get tased.
That's true. So
I would love to see your fat ass get tased.
So like and subscribe, guys.
Like and subscribe if you want to see me, John, and John get tased.
I'm going to make it an achievable number because I want to see it happen. So.
What kind of number are you thinking?
Man, look, I think if we can get like, let's say 50 subscribers. Where are we at right now on YouTube? I know we don't have a lot on YouTube.
YouTube, it's like 31. It's not much at all. So I think it's 31.
All right, so if we can do like 100
YouTube subscribers,
I will make up 69 different emails just to get your
the algorithm doesn't work there. Not the algorithm, but the
and then I think if we
analytics don't work that way. You can see,
damn
it,
individual,
Yeah. So if we can do, we'll tase you for 100. We'll tase you.
Why do I gotta go first?
Because I think
you're founding father.
Yeah. The show, Phil.
I know, but like it's like if as long as we got, it's like if here's the thing though, if I'm the only bastard getting tased,
you're not. We're gonna
join the fraternity.
Yeah.
Me and Thick, we're in this brotherhood.
Yeah.
You're just joining.
I know, and I'm not like itching to join it. Is what I'm saying. Like now, I will do it.
You barely even feel it. It's over in 5 seconds.
If John,
that's the bullshit they tell you.
Yeah.
If John, and John are doing it,
that's what they tell you. That's what it's over in 5 seconds. Yeah. That's the longest 5 seconds of my life.
Now I'll sit down there and I'll get down and I'll hold hands with John, or the three of us can do it at the same time. But I'm they've got to do it too.
I think at 100, we'll tase one person. At 150, we'll tase 3.
Okay.
What do you think? I mean, that kind of sounds reasonable.
I know, but I think a lot of people would probably hate me.
I will up the ante.
And would be like,
then we're not going to tell.
I'm going to up this ante.
We're not going to release who that one person is.
Draw it at random.
Exactly.
Here's the thing.
Name generator.
Okay, well, if it's drawn at random, that's one thing. But if it's not, everybody knows it's going to be me.
No, so we'll draw it. Yeah.
Okay.
That way, we'll even the playing field.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the goal ultimately, if you want to guarantee that you hear Philster scream
like a woman,
you need to get
so 100 is a random person. 150 is a trio.
Yeah. So the only reason why I even feel comfortable doing this is because I've got certification.
You've got
get certified.
I
can get sworn.
If you get certified,
I'm not getting
tased. If you get certified, I'll do it for 200. Yeah.
For 200.
Whoa, is the getting tased still part of the certification?
I'm
out.
That's for you to find out.
They got a freebie. I'm out.
Okay, let's do it again here. 250, we get Fudd tased.
No.
We'll buy you dinner that night.
We'll buy
you get 250,000 and Fudd's not getting tased.
Dude, I'll do a smoked, seared tomahawk steak.
No.
And we might get a certain lady of the evening to come up here and
you had me a
bobblehead.
Bobblehead. No, I'm not ever going to do it. I don't care.
John said it's a weird feel. He said it's like getting hit in the back with a baseball bat.
No, it's a damn lie.
Is it true?
It's. Have you ever seen the movie like? What's the movie? The guy he gets the electric chair and he could jump through dimensions and stuff. Shocker.
Shocker.
Jumper.
Something like that. Jumper cables, maybe. Yeah, it's the awfulest feeling besides pepper spray I've ever had in my life.
Pepper spray's worse though. For sure.
So, like, it might have been many moons ago, but have you ever had like a really good workout and your muscles feel super like tight?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. And then when it releases, it's just like the worst workout you've ever had in your life. They all constrict at one time.
Neuromuscular incapacitation.
Mm.
And they all tighten up. It's like a Charlie horse throughout your whole body.
And your inner Chewbacca comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to shut my eyes and say, just do it.
Yeah. That really is the best way to go about it, is just...
Let's just get this over with. But I will tell you what, you bastards are going to make it worth it. I'm not doing it for nothing.
Well,
And here's another thing. We've talked about doing like hot sauce challenges because on YouTube you see all these people eating these one chip challenges.
Yeah.
And Carolina Reaper stuff. I'm not against doing some of this stuff, but it's got to be worth it.
Right.
So we may do some more stuff like that in the future. If the tasing thing goes over, maybe we'll do some other stuff like that.
We still have a couple little details we got to work out on it, but tentatively we're planning to do the tasing event. And I think 100 will randomly draw 150, all three. That's fair. And that will.
Are you going to come up for this, Fudd? Are you going to be part of this?
You damn right. As long as
we'll get Fudd dressed up like the court jester or something.
Right, yeah. Well, here's another benefit of this though too is for the people.
If I can get sworn,
yeah,
and get this certification, I can pull the trigger.
You just want to tase me.
You're going to wear an executioner mask, aren't you?
That's exactly. I'm going to wear the executioner mask.
Well, no, Thick's going to wear it.
That's all I'm going to wear.
Well, we can share it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to wear.
I was going to do executioner or Raiden, so maybe we'll get both of those.
I think maybe an executioner with a Raiden hat.
With a Raiden hat, yeah.
Would look like Demolition from old WWE, Axe and Smash. Those guys.
So, all right, man. Well, I mean, we got some plans then, and that we're going to start doing some video related content on our YouTube channel. We've got some ideas brewing.
John Jones got some ideas that he'd like to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to do them. It's up to him, but
we'll see. And I think either way, we're going to at least have a good time, and hopefully you all will enjoy it. And
I've had a good time.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on.
It's been fun.
I'll come back anytime.
Dude,
unless
you
can come up every. I don't care. Come up every time.
Unless your listeners just don't like me.
No, they're gonna like
then you know what? I don't like you either.
Yeah, you come up, be a regular part of it.
Check out Fudd's OnlyFans account.
It's where they pay me to keep my clothes on.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of goats and pickles.
Yeah.
Salamanders.
Salamander orgies and deer kicking or nut kicking deers.
Tits on that one. Did you see it?
More National Geographic.
We appreciate everybody that listens to this show, especially our contributors like Dewey and
Major Diabetes.
And Major Diabetes. We appreciate these guys. Again, if you need a property, talk to Dewey at More Realty.
If you have questions about diabetes, talk to Jacob Sosman.
We appreciate you guys, but if we're going to hurt ourselves for entertainment's sake,
it by God better be worth it.
It's going to you better make it worth it.
You better make it worth it.
I'm not going to get tased for nothing.
If you guys want to see this,
you make this shit happen. You get us some subscribers and some contributors or whatever.
So that's on the Highly Trained Veterinarians YouTube channel. Need to get that up to 100 at least, 150.
100 to 150 on YouTube, or become a contributor over.
Well, if you want to see it live, become a contributor. If we reach 100, we're going to tase one person. And if you're on our supporter list at that time, you're going to get a personal invite.
I'm sure we're going to make a post about this with all the details on Facebook. But then again, we don't get a lot of responses on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't think we hit as many people that are kind of into our nonsense.
We get we get a good little amount. We get a good audience listening to this show. And we have a lot of people on our Facebook page, but for some reason, not a lot of interaction.
We get throttled,
Maybe.
We get throttled. But that's cool. We'll carry on anyways.
I think next time we shouldn't watch National Geographic.
Next time, I'm keeping the National Geographic off next time.
I've been enthralled with all this.
I figured National Geographic
I never knew I was into bestiality until now. It's kind of new for me.
I just, like to have stuff on in here, like I thought National Geographic.
You could have turned on Showgirls. I could have gave it word for word.
Boomerang. What was that chick's name in that?
Naomi Malone.
Naomi Malone. Yeah. If we get us 1,000 subscribers, and we'll have Naomi Malone coming here and lap dance.
Will we?
Shh, they don't know. We don't know. We'll get Fudd a lap dance from Naomi Malone.
You'll get Thicky alone, is what you end up with.
Yeah. Michelle, my wife, will be like, "Who's this lady going into the studio?"
My name's Thick.
Yeah. That's just
Yeah,
if we start hurting each other, you guys got to make
Philster's
it
in the corner. Wah, 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 wah.
He's making those those socks stand up.
Ooga.
Ooga.
It's like be like a reenactment of the shit that went on in Bluegill's house.
Ooh.
This is a whole nother show.
Did you ever meet Bluegill?
You have to give me the full name after.
Oh, no.
I don't think I know.
I don't know his full name. Bluegill, I don't know. Bluegill the masturbator. Only thing I know about Bluegill is he was on CB Radio. He had a filthy ass house and he masturbated in front of children.
Yeah, that he did.
Listen to episode 3 for more information.
I'm listening to that one.
Yeah,
I listened to that one. I was trying to place who the guy was, and then I was like,
yeah. I talked to him on CB Radio, and that's about it. He's deceased now. So,
well, I guess one of us is going to have to go out and look for John.
Yeah, he didn't make it back. He said he might be here, might be a little late, but he didn't make it. So that's why I figured he would. He's John. Dude,
he's
I want to have a show with him if y'all ever have me back. Yeah. I do want to.
Yeah,
I want to have a show with him. I like that guy.
I was kind of looking forward to the conversation.
Well, he's a little tiny guy. We'll sit him in that baby chair there. We'll put him in that baby chair.
Yeah, John. Yeah,
what's happening here? I thought these damn mongooses were doing it.
I'm glad we got John involved in this, and it sucks that he's not here today. But he'll be back. Come back anytime, Fudd.
I'll have to.
You want to come back on? Even when we don't have
just whatever. Just holler at me.
If you just want to come over and hang out, we'll do the hangout.
Yeah.
That's all this is anyway. I mean,
can I watch National Geographic?
You know what? If we're having especially during like the serious conversations, I'll turn the National Geographic off.
Discovery's got Shark Week, and then Nat Geo's got whatever this is.
Yeah.
In my defense, I did say that I'm not a political guy. I don't really have much of a opinion.
That's okay. You don't have to.
So that's why.
You could be a liberal in here. I'm not going to have a lot of respect
actually probably
for you,
better. Because it helps even stuff out.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying I'm either way. I'm just saying I just don't have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to. We're. I don't care. As long as people's respectful, nice. So we've known each other for years. So I don't.
Yeah.
So I've got friends that are both. I have more respect for you.
You got friends that are Republican and wrong too, right?
Yeah, friends that are smart.
Is that the way that went? Did I do that? Did I make a political joke the right way?
Yeah,
Republican or right? Yeah, or wrong? Yeah, I don't know. See, that's why I don't do it.
There you go.
Well,
what's that guy? He was
coming from the studio at the sandy beach underneath the parking garage in downtown Hazard.
And our little secret hidey hole.
We will appreciate you listening to this episode, especially if you made it this long. Check us out again. Until then, I'm Thick McRunslow.
I'm the Philster.
And I'm the Fudd.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.